us on UFM's Top 40. My name is Carol Hobbs. Good morning to you. And right now I'm joined by the head of Department of Arts, Culture, Sports and Recreation. She is Miss Nono Bapela. Good morning. Nono, how are you?
Good morning, Carol, and to your listeners. I'm great, thank you. And how are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm pretty much excited. I'm not going to lie that I'm here.
It is exciting on this wet day.
On this wet day, look glorious, blessed day.
It is.
I must say.
No, it definitely.
Let's just talk about the role of the Department of Arts, Culture, Sports and Recreation when it comes to the seminar that we're having today.
The summit that we're having today, it's being organized by the Northwest Sports Confederation. Mm-hmm. And as a department, we support the Confederation to implement the programs that they have.
Okay.
And under the Confederation, there are federations. One of the federations there is sports, disability sport.
Yes.
And that's basically what we come for. We've come here for today. It's an annual summit that the Northwest Sports Confederation holds. Mm-hmm. And it's basically that we come and talk about people with disabilities participating in sport and how we as a department assist such athletes, that we nurture their talent, we identify their talent.
Yes.
But most importantly as a province, that we have athletes that perform at the Paralympics.
Yes.
And acknowledging that as a rural province, we do not have those facilities that would cater for the people with disabilities. How then do we call on other people, call on other partners to say, come and assist us in this regard? Because we might have athletes or people that want to participate in athletics and other sporting activities in the province, but because of lack of facilities, they end up going to big towns, your Johannesburgs, your Cape Towns, and once you get there, the town gets to claim you. We've got a lot of artists that came out of our province that are now claimed by those other provinces. Not that we're complaining, we appreciate that we've nurtured them, we've brought them up, we're cool.
Yeah.
Bottom line is we are struggling as a province with facilities, particularly facilities for people with disabilities.
Now, going forward, I can imagine the challenges. That is a big challenge for the department, especially in the Northwest. Way forward, how else can investors outside come and assist, especially investors within the province? How can they assist the department in making sure that we have the right facilities for people with disabilities?
Carol, this is one of the engagements that we're having to call on the private sector.
Yeah.
We all know that government budget has actually been trimmed. Trimmed is a cut. It's not even being trimmed. It's cut.
Yeah.
So even if we had plans as a department, for as long as those projects have not started, we're going to have a problem to motivate the treasurer to say that we want to start these things. But we know that municipalities, for an example, out of their municipal infrastructure grant, they have to top slice their budget for sports facilities. Now, we're calling upon municipalities, we're urging municipalities. I know that, most of them would say, but we're even struggling with our funding, we don't have enough funds. But focus should be on building infrastructure for people with disabilities. Yeah. Because the infrastructure that we have, it's for people with normal abilities,
Sure.
Now, even the private sector, we are in Taung today. We can't say there are no business people in Taung.
Quite a lot.
There are quite a lot.
Yeah.
And hearing of this, we just like them to come forward. The president of the Northwest Sports Confederation is around here. I suppose he's a phone call away. The chairperson of the Disability Sport Federation is around. Yeah. And it's just to make that call, to make that pledge. Even come to the department, either see the MEC, see myself, just to make that pledge to say, in a village called Sorin, so we know that we've got 5 people with disabilities, but that are good in sport. Yeah. Can we not? But importantly, we've got a structure like Mmabana. I suppose we could make space in Mmabana that we have a high performance center specifically for people with disabilities, because we've got high performance centers in Rustenburg. We've got the Northwest University that's got a high performance center in Mafikeng. But coming to this side, to the western side of our province, we do not have high performance centers. And it would actually be, one big thing. It will actually be a legacy for the province to have a high performance center for people with disabilities, for athletes with disabilities.
Yeah, we're still in conversation with the HOD of Arts, Culture, Sports and Recreation. We're talking to Mayor Nono Bapela. Before we actually get to the news at 12 o'clock, do we see TAUNG, for instance, having more than just one facility to accommodate people with disability?
Carol, anything is possible. The problem is where there is no collaboration, where there's no working together. We have communities, and I'm not specifically talking about the community of TAUNG. Generally, we have communities where government starts a program and communities stand there and look and say, government is building something. And then the next thing they come, but who said we needed that? And understandably so, government would want to provide services that people would
utilize,
and for all intents and purposes, having the municipalities doing their IDP sessions and all those kind of things, we know that people with disabilities are normally in the minority.
True.
They don't have a voice. I mean,
I think that's a sad part, though.
It is. But we need to have structures that would talk to government, that would talk to the public sector. Because, like I said, government, we can only do so much. So partnerships with the private sector, partnerships with investors out there would actually go a long way. And people normally say that government processes take long. Anyway.
That's still for another day.
Well, there are processes that have to be followed in any case. So
protocol needs to be followed.
It's not just about government taking long. There are processes that have to be followed. There are acts, there's legislation that has to be followed. Lest we find ourselves in another town that I don't want to call right now. But for all intents and purposes, let the structures, and not just the structures of people with disabilities, but any structure. The federations must partner with the structures and ensure that we call upon investors, we call upon the private sector to say, Khosi is available, call on to those investors, the traditional council meeting with those structures, with the municipality, with the department, and saying, let us call investors. This is who we are, for an example, as TAUNG. This is the village that we are. This is our history as TAUNG, but this is what we now want to focus on. TAUNG is known for the TAUNG skull. It can be known as a high performance center, area or town for people with disabilities.
And in the country as well.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for this beautiful chat.
Thank you, Carol.
It's an honor to actually have this conversation with you.
Thank you very much. It was an honor for the invite. Hey.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, just to give you a quick reminder, UFM's Top 40 is live at Mmabana in TAUNG. We continue celebrating Disability Month. The Northwest Sports Confederation, in partnership with the Departments of Art, Culture, Sports and Recreation, they have invited a lot of sportsmen and women, and I've been told about 150 athletes from the Special Olympics who are very much